Ffestiniog Railway is known to hundreds of thousands of tourists visiting Wales. Run by voluntary effort, it planned to carry out important extensions and improvements. Not a pleasant view from a back garden in Fifeshire until the slag heaps were shifted and a peaceful park created to present this view to the neighbourhood. Unemployment is depressing and frustrating, especially for school leavers and other young people. The North of England Open Air Museum at Beamish, County Durham, believed it could help some of those who are finding it difficult to obtain jobs or training this year. And so did a number of other organisations, like Oxfam, whose reclamation and recycling scheme in Huddersfield was short of labour. Like Coles Crane's Recreation Centre in Sunderland, and like the Wildfowl Trust Reserve in Lancashire. The Life Chance Workshop in Liverpool also proved that with a little imagination, a great deal can be achieved. David wanted to be a joiner when he left school, but couldn't get a job to start him off. Tom was made redundant at 62. Sue has a degree in zoology, but couldn't find work when she left college. Hugh is a victim of polio, but he wanted to work, and a little girl wants to train a nursery nurse. The Job Creation Programme, with a budget of £75 million, has made it possible to offer worthwhile temporary employment to unemployed people of all ages and abilities on work which will enrich the community. At Coles Crane's in Sunderland, the sports club's bowling green was subsiding onto the tennis court. With the Borough Council, Coles sponsored a JCP project to put it right.
So far as Sunderland is concerned, we were most anxious to take full advantage of the Job Creation Programme, and whilst we are promoting our own projects as a local authority, we're anxious to also encourage private industry and other groups in the town.
We've introduced the boys to the apprentice training school 1 day a week. I think that this gives them a sight of and an idea of what's going on in industry. And I think that companies would find a lot of satisfaction from seeing a lot of boys provided with work. To have youngsters doing things without any sort of real objective is terrible.
Oxfam's Waste Saver scheme in Huddersfield is running a job creation project which helps the local unemployed and may result in some permanent jobs. Oxfam's reclaimed goods are sold all over the country. Ian Roebuck had trouble finding work, although he had his City and Guilds qualification in monochrome TV and radio. Now he has a job which may become permanent. Oxfam are employing skilled and unskilled labour to clean, sort, repair and renovate household and other goods for resale. The textile department is one of the busiest. Oxfam needed more labour than they could afford, and with JCP's help, the Waste Saver scheme has increased its capability to help the third world, besides providing useful work for school leavers, handicapped and redundant people who would otherwise be without jobs. Recycling glass and tin plate on this conveyor has provided a permanent job for an older man and ended long and aimless periods of unemployment for 3 youngsters. Life Chance in Liverpool took over a derelict bus depot. With the help of JCP, it has become a workshop, producing van conversions and boats for the community service.
And at the moment we have vans that we're converting into caravannettes, which will carry people to go to Wales and Lake District and anywhere they'd like to go. I started in the joinery 42 years ago, and I'm doing my best to give them my experience over the years.
I left school in June after finishing a few exams, and there was just no chance of getting a job at all. And eventually this opportunity came up in December. I seem to really enjoy myself here. It gives me a chance to try mechanics. Well, when I was on the dole, I was only getting £9.70 a week, and now it's 36, and it's fantastic, much better.
I'm an apprentice electrician, I work for a company which went into liquidation. I've been looking for a job to carry on my apprenticeship, but I didn't succeed until I came to Life Chance Construction. I'm still carrying on my course. I have day release 1 day a week and I go to tech 1 evening a week.
Well, I'm training them, specifically boat building, but basically just to laminate or to be able to work or handle fiberglass for re-employment in any industry in the area or outside the area. I didn't realise that I'd be able to show people so many different things. I think what they enjoy most is producing good finished items. Canoes with a shiny finish, something that looks as if they made something. They appreciate it, and it's virtually immediate in comparison to most other trades, in that it's a semi-skill, so that they can understand and make the item in the same week.
Peter Gladstone, curator of the Wildfowl Trust at Martin Mere, found there were a number of ways he could make use both of A-levelers and graduates and of people without academic qualifications.
The Wildfowl Trust is a charity, and we had an enormous amount of work, some skilled and some semi-skilled and some unskilled, which we wanted to do. First of all, we've employed them in the education field, so that we've got graduates and skilled and semi-skilled people working there, getting a great deal of educational work prepared, which can be used permanently in the future by all sorts of people. The job creation program has helped us enormously, but we have also been able to give something back in the form of training. We have managed to get a team, including a lot of school leavers here who had no real skills in this way at all, to come and work here and to get a lot of the groundwork done. And we've got a project to improve the marshland, to build a staff hospital, to build observation hides, to develop the second phase area of the waterfowl garden and all that sort of thing.
The Festiniog Railway is the 4th largest tourist attraction in Wales. The extensions which it required were costly, and voluntary unpaid workers could not possibly have completed them for a number of years. The idea was offered to JCP and approved. Now a workforce is being paid by JCP to help carry out the job. The improvements will help to bring more permanent jobs to an area where they are badly needed. The North of England Museum has provided some unexpected opportunities through JCP.
Originally I started as a driver. I'd never worked with steam before, and lots of little idiosyncrasies, you know, about boilers and things, you know.
Well, intend linking the railway up, the railway system that's already here, then intend linking it completely up so it's circular.
Trevor came to us on the job creations. He's now learned how to drive locomotion, but the main aim is to get him used to steam, and he'll be handling a steamroller. I think he likes the job as well.
The museum employs clerical staff under JCP, as well as several experienced tradespeople.
The idea is there is an old type station yard with a cobbled forecourt and weighbridge, etc., you know. I'm a skilled bricklayer, and I called in at the employment exchange to have their work on the job creation plan.
The job creation program collects and sifts ideas for projects and pays the wages for those which are accepted. It's up to the individual sponsoring body to think up the projects. The Fife Regional Council in Scotland has taken hold of the job creation offer with both hands and sponsored a number of valuable projects, such as providing nursery help at the Benockie Playgroup in Dunfermline, where it was urgently needed. It's an independent playgroup run under the auspices of a voluntary organisation. Margot, here with the playgroup supervisor, and Marion have been given work here in order to gain experience in nursery nursing. Lauder Technical College gives Margot and Marion day release classes in subjects related to nursery work. At Lauder Tech, they're attending a class in first aid. Both these girls had unhappy experiences on leaving school, unable to secure work in an area where unemployment ranks among the highest in Britain. Lauder, the girls are also given day release places in the art and design group. Another project sponsored by the Fife Council under the supervision of permanent staff produces special toys to supply libraries with teaching aids for handicapped and disabled children. The project employs a number of people, several of them handicapped. Some of the girls here alternate with Marion and Margot at the playgroup. They've all learned a great deal under the guidance of experienced JCP employees. Annette, for instance, could not knit or sew when she was offered work here. Now she can do both. And the children don't take long to find out how some of the toys work. For so many unemployed people, the job creation program and the ideas it has generated have been a godsend, and it has helped restore self-respect and give a sense of achievement. Henry lost a number of jobs through no fault of his own. Now he's happy to look after the heating and to work in the toy library workshop. Hugh Sutty can work now in spite of his disability, and he enjoys it. Robert and Tom nearly gave up altogether. Now they too have found a new life on this job creation project. Under JCP, the Fife Council set up a timber workshop, building boats for use by schools and youth organizations, and picnic benches for placing round the countryside, including those areas reclaimed from the slag heaps with JCP help. Neither the joiners who managed the workshop nor their young assistants had any knowledge of boats. The first mirror dinghy they built was a salutary experience, even for the two craftsmen. But again, Lauder Technical College is giving the lads day release classes to make sure they know the theory of tools and timber. And during the working days, Tom, the foreman joiner, is passing his experience on to them. They won't become skilled craftsmen, but they will have learned a great deal by the time they leave the project. John Morrison, Fifeshire's job creation program organizer, helps with the rigging. And the first dinghy off the production line goes through her trials at the newly landscaped Lochore Meadows. A proud achievement, made possible by the imaginative exploitation of the job creation program.
Tuning into London, radio networks throughout the world